Torah Kaf Gimel, page 69, part Dalet. וזה בחינת מזוזה, and this is the aspect of מזוזה. כי איתה במדרש, because it's written in the מידרש, למה נקרא שמן זוזה? Why we're calling the money זוזים, זוזה? מפני שזזין מזה לזה, because they are moving from that person to the other. זזים, זוזים, they are זזים, they are moving from one hand to the other. וזה והיה שדי בצריך. And this is why it's written in the book of Iyov, והיה שדי בצריך. The beginning of the verse is והיה שדי בצריך. Hashem was one of your Betzarecha, it means one of your enemies, but actually it's one of the, he's protecting you. Actually it's written Betzarecha, that he is the one that is attacking you, but actually by those attacks he's protecting you. Hainu al yedei mezuzah means by having mezuzah, and this is now the second part, the last part of the verse, וכסף תועפות לך, and you're going to have a lot of money. על ידי זה, by that, פרנסתו מעופפת לך. You have the parnasa. Parnasa is flying into your hands. When you understand that Hashem Yitbarach, He is your enemy. What it means? When you understand that all of your enemies, it's actually Hashem Yitbarach. And you don't fall into kfirot to think, oh no, it's my wife, oh no, it's the clerk from the bank, it's Clark Kent, it's I don't know who, it's all shtuyot, it's Hashem Yitbarach that is talking to me. Hanan, you don't know who is Clark Kent? I'm going to sit with you after class, B'ezrat Hashem, I'm going to review it with you. Don't worry, I'm going to sit with you. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave you in the back, behind, with us. By that, parnasato ma'ofefet lecha ketzipor. The parnasa is flying into your hands. All of it depends in faith. If we're not dropping Hashem Yitbarach, if we're not living Hashem Yitbarach, always remember it's all Hashem, it's all Hashem. Close our eyes and attach ourselves to Hashem Yitbarach, and not to drop Hashem even for one moment. Ki Shaddai hu bechinat brit. Because the name Shaddai, it's an aspect of covenant. כמו שכתוב, like that it's written, אני El Shaddai pere urve. My name is El Shaddai, and the mitzvah is pere urve. Means multiply? Yes, multiply. כמו שכתוב, we said it, וזה שדרשו, and this is what that רבותינו said, חז"ל, in גמרא תלמוד ירושלמי, שעשרת הדיברות הם בקריאת שמע, that the 10th commandments are also written inside of קריאת שמע. ודיבור לא תחמוד, and the word of לא תחמוד, the commandment of לא תחמוד, not to have a desire for things of other people, is כנגד, how you say כנגד? Corresponding to וכתבתם על מזוזות, that you should write it in front of your eyes, inside of the mezuzah, like that we said before, that mezuzah, this is the name of Shaddai, that this is and like what we said a few days ago, we were talking about it, that if a person is having a desire on the money of his friend, it's like that he came on Eshet Ish, like that he was with his friends' wives, Chas Shalom. So, כי על ידי מזוזה, because by having מזוזה, kosher מזוזה, נתבטל חמדת הממון כנ"ל. You're canceling the desire for money. By having a good mezuzah, we need to remember that for us, the Hasid of Breslev, the Baalei Tshuva, the thing is that when we're starting to get closer to Hashem Yitbarach, immediately Hashem Yitbarach is making tricks with us. You're saying, all right, now I'm going to buy a new mezuzah to the house. I'm going to replace all of my mezuzot in the house. It's a segula for parnasa. Immediately you're going to chas shalom, a person can find himself in debt, doesn't know how to pay for the mezuzot. So this is all coming from Hashem Yitbarach. We need to remember, by those tests, they're checking us if our will is strong or if not, chas v'shalom. They're just checking the will. They're checking us exactly in the things that we're lack of, exactly in the thing that they should check us. Means if a person now, he wasn't trusting Hashem Yitbarach in his life, in Parnasa, and he had horrible hishtadluyot on making money, and he was stealing, and a lot of horrible things, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu have to fix him in that midah. How are we going to fix him in that midah? He need to bring him to the place that he's going to have faith that Hashem Yitbarach, He's the one that supplied the money, the food, all of the Parnasa. How a person going to learn that? If not by davening to Hashem Yitbarach. So all of the stoppings, all of the miniot, all of the problems are just to develop that ability to ask from Hashem Yitbarach, to climb into faith, into believing in Hashem Yitbarach. So we have to have those times that we don't have the parnasa, and then we're going to try again to find parnasa, and we're going to realize our lackings. Hey, I'm falling into the places that I were in before of my tshuva process, so it's not good. And then you're going to clarify slowly, the place that you're holding in, the things that you need to fix, how you need to work on your midot, that you need to daven on that more. You're going to see that nothing is working in the last shitot that you were holding in the past, and you're going to work on yourself, on your midot, to climb into faith, to believe in Hashem Yitbarach, to ask for help from Hashem Yitbarach. This is the only will of Hashem Yitbarach. Because by mezuzah nitbatel chemdat hamamon kanal. Because by having mezuzah, the person's desire for money is being cancelled. Rabbeinu is writing in Likutei Moharan that we need to hate the mammon betachlit hasin'ah, that we have to hate money as much as we can. So I asked Rav Shalom Arush Tachles, Lemaise, what should we do with that word of Rabbeinu? What we should do with money, if this is the attitude, so what we should do? So he said, what are you doing with something that you hate? You're pushing it away from you. This is what you should do with money. You should push it away from you. You have money, you have to look for a reason to put it on something. You see a poor person, give it to tzedakah. You see something, give it to your wife. You're not holding money. You don't need money. You hate money. You have money, you're looking for a reason to get rid of that amount of money. This is like what you're doing with something that you hate. Melach mamon chaser. Like Rabbeinu is bringing those words again. Melach mamon chaser. That the salt is reducing the desire for money, like we learned last week. Why he's bringing it here? Because, like we said, this is the bchina, the aspect of tikkun abrit, the mezuzah, the kel shaddai, the name shaddai. It's the name that is teaching us on tikkun abrit. This is the tzaddik. That the tzaddik, he is the brit melach. Vezeu, and this is what that's written. Veziz, it's written in the verse. Veziz sadai imadi. Veziz sadai imadi. And Veziz, Rabbeinu is explaining that this is the money. Ze hainu mamon, like that we said zuzim. Ziz, it's like a zuz. Hainu mamon. Sadai imadi. This is the name of Hashem Yitbarach, that He is with me. What it means? It means al yedei shmirat abrit, by watching ourselves inside the borders of kedusha, not to look at women, not to let our horrible thoughts wander into filthy places. Means al yedei mezuzah, means by having a kosher mezuzah in the entrance to our houses. That mezuzah, it's an aspect of kedushat abrit, like we said before. Zochel lebchinat, the person gonna achieve the aspect of semach zevulun. You're gonna be happy with the fact that you have to have certain hishtadluyot on parnasa. Means you're not going to work with sadness that it actually means to have desire for money, ta'avat mamon. You just samach bechelko. You're happy. All right, so I have to work a few hours a day, but I'm happy. You're not falling into desire for money by doing that. You can be happy and work. A person that is sad with his condition, when he's going to work, he's going to fall into hishtadluyot, he's going to try to bring more money because he's not happy with his share, and he's going to fall into desire for money. But a person that is happy with his share, like Zvulun, that he was working all day long, he was going and working, he was happy, he didn't fall into ta'avat mamon, even though that he was dealing with money. וזה שאמרו רבותינו ז"ל, and this is what that רבותינו said, Uchtavtam, about the word Uchtavtam, that we said that those are the words that are corresponding to the mitzvah of Lo Tachmod, not to have a desire for no one, nothing that it's not belong to us. Sheyeh Ktivat Tama, that it's going to be Ktivat Tama. What? Tama, it means complete, with no mistakes. That you're going to write the mezuzah in a perfect way, in a complete way, with no mistakes. וזה בחינת, and it's an aspect of what that's written, Yaakov ish tam. That Yaakov, he was ish tam, he was simple and wise, and it's the same Yaakov that we were talking about him before. This is the aspect of the mezuzot, this is the aspect of Yaakov, ki al yado, because by Yaakov, vayichan penei ha'ir. He was bringing the beauty and grace back into the city. By what? Al yado, by him. That what he made? He made tikun hamatbea kanal. He fixed the coin, like we learned. He fixed ta'avat mamon. וזהו, and this is what it's written, שאמרו חז"ל, that said in הגמרא מסכת שבת, שעריכת ימים, that to have a long life, על ידי מזוזה. It depends in having a mezuzah in your house. To have a long life, you need to have a mezuzah mehuderet in the house. It's not a segula, it's causing it. If you have a mezuzah mehuderet, it's causing a person to have a long life. It's not a segula. Because ki samuch le'uchtavtam, because the next verse after uchtavtam wrote them, the mitzvah to write the mezuzah, it's written lema'an yirbu yemechem, that you're going to have a long life. So it's a cause. Ki al yedei emunah b'masa umatan, because by having faith means loyalty, means being honest when you are busy with masa umatan, with your business, not cheating, not lying, giving your masrot, giving tzedakah. Ba or hachayim kanal. You can receive and find the light of life, like we learned. Means the light of the face of Hashem Yitbarach. 70 faces, illuminating face of Hashem Yitbarach by the Masa Umatan. So you see that a person doesn't need to be a Talmid Chacham to see the face of Hashem Yitbarach. Even a very simple, honest person, naive, that is working for his parnasah, can find Hashem Yitbarach inside the Masa Umatan. Oh, mamash, we read a lot of stories about really important tzaddikim, and also hidden tzaddikim that were working, that was mamash spending a lot of hours every day in their jobs, but they were understanding that they need to believe in Hashem Yitbarach, in the store, in the cleaning the streets, in building buildings, and I don't know what. Everyone with this tikkun, there is two things. One, it's parnasah. Second thing, it's kaparat avonot, or that you have a certain mission that you have to complete, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu can send you to do something in a certain place. You see that life are pulling you to a certain direction, that you have to do something with your life. You have to be somewhere. What you can do, it's not connected to parnasah. Parnasah is from Hashem, and the work is for kaparat avonot, or to meet certain people. You're going to see there is people that you have to meet. You're never going to find them in the Bet Midrash. You can find them only outside in certain situations. in certain things that you're doing. So it's a certain mission that Hashem Yitbarach wants you to do. There is no connection between that to the parnasa. We have to know that the parnasa depends in Hashem Yitbarach's will to give us parnasa. We have a job to work on our midot, to do tshuva, to learn how to know Hashem Yitbarach, to believe in Hashem Yitbarach, to pray on our needs. And Hashem Yitbarach, it's His job to bring the parnasa. If now you see that Hashem wants you to do something also in your life, you go and do that. But it's not for parnasa. It's not for parnasa. Parnasa is from Hashem Yitbarach. Hashem going to supply the parnasa if you're going to work, if you're not going to work. Just begging and asking from Hashem Yitbarach to give us our parnasa, that it's not going to come from Yedei Basar Vadam, from people who are asking from Hashem Yitbarach, that we're not going to fall to believe that we're receiving the money by people. Even if you feel that you received the check from the yeshiva, you feel that you received the check from the place that you're working in, you need to daven, to ask, to beg from Borei Olam that you will not fall into that klipa of ta'avat mamon, to think that it depends in people. That now someone gave me money, someone owes me money, someone now is paying me for something that I done. I deserve money. I supposed to. It's belong to me. It's all imaginations. We need to thank Yitbarach, Hashem Yitbarach, on the fact that we're breathing. On that we need to thank Hashem Yitbarach. Every other thing, it's mamash, it's a bonus, it's extra. We need to develop that thing. We need to work on that thing. I know that it's not easy. We need to work on that. We have to go and to talk to Hashem Yitbarach on that again and again, again and again. And if you see that Hashem Yitbarach is testing you, last week I had to achieve a certain amount of money, and Baruch Hashem, in the morning of that day I had it in my pocket, and then I saw one of the avrechim from the yeshiva, someone that I don't owe him nothing, just the honor that I wanted to honor him, and I know that he was in a difficulty of parnasa, and I handed to him all of the amount of money that I had, because I knew that he was in a bigger problem than I were in. And it was a little bit hard for me, but I was happy because I really knew that I want to help him. It was beyond my masrot amount, it was mamash tzedakah to help that person. Wonderful. At noontime, I met a friend that I know that he owes me money, and usually I'm not asking the money back, only if I need it, so I'm asking. This is my level, this is my place. I came to that person, I told him what's going on with the money. He said yes, no, yes, no. I convinced him, he said all right, in a nice way, you're going to bring me the money today. When he came to give me the money, I was in the studio that I'm working for a Rav to record the CDs of the kids for Rav Shalom, and we were there. I know that the yeshiva owes money to the person, to the avrech that I'm working with him in the studio on the project that we're working on. And I know that the yeshiva is owing that money. It's not me that owe him that money. It's a Rav owe him that money, but I'm the middleman in all of that situation, so it wasn't so comfortable for me. When that person came, that friend of mine that was owe me money came to give me that money, I was in that time in the studio. And when I hand me the money, I felt not comfortable to enjoy that money, because that person, the yeshiva owes him a lot more money that now I have, and I'm that middleman, and who knows what's going on in his house. He's also an avrech. So I told him, how are you doing with parnasa? What's going on? He said, Baruch Hashem, miracles. And I felt that those miracles, it's when his face is on the asphalt, on the road, dragging his miracles on the floor. So I said, all right, Be'ezrat Hashem. I gave him that amount of money, took it again, the second time in the day, handed it to him. I gave it to him. Told him, here, it's okay, it's for you. He said, no. He said, Titchazek ata im hakesef. You're going to get stronger with that money. This is the perush. I told him, I rather to get stronger in confidence in Hashem Yitbarach than with money. You had the money, and I'm going to get stronger in faith. I'm going to go to believe in Hashem Yitbarach. And I hand him the money. In the evening, Baruch Hashem, I had the money back in my pocket. Baruch Hashem, Hashem helped me in a third way. So you see from that it's just, you just need to count on Hashem. It was a war for me also. You don't need to be a tzaddik. No, I don't care about money. Here's my money. Here's my... No, I needed that money, and I still need that money. And everyone in his level need to put his effort in his avodat Hashem. You don't need to be a tzaddik to serve Hashem Yitbarach. You need to put your effort in your situations. For one person it's going to be 50 shekels, for one person it's going to be 500 shekels, for another person it's going to be 5,000 shekels. It doesn't matter. For one person it's going to be once a week, for another one it's going to be once a year. But once that you see that Hashem Yitbarach is putting you in a place that you have a choice, choose Hashem. Choose faith. Don't choose money. Don't count on money. Count on Hashem. It's something that can be very hard. There is, you know, that it's written in Kriyat Shema that we need to have to love Hashem Yitbarach b'chol levavcha, b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol meodecha. What it means, b'chol meodecha? It means with all of your money. So there is people that in certain situations they rather to have money, to put effort, a physical effort, or to give their soul. It's easier for them than to give money. A very poor person or a very sick person that is very cheap. It doesn't matter. It's a problem. His money is important to him now, and he feels that he cannot give. Rabbeinu is saying, when the avodat tzedakah is starting, when it starts that you're working on the midah of tzedakah, when you give more than you can, when it's hard, matay sheze kashe. If to give 50 shekels for you, it's not that hard, so it is a mitzvah tzedakah, but it's not avodat tzedakah. It's not an effort. It's not avodah, something that you made now that by that you're going to achieve all of the wonderful things that you can achieve by tzedakah. You made mitzvah tzedakah. Where it starts, when it's hard for you. If you're opening the wallet, now there is a poor person that is coming to collect, and you're opening your wallet, and you see you have a green bill of 20 shekels, for you it's okay to give it. You have another purple one of 50 and another brown one of 100. On the 100, no one is talking, of course. The 50, it's hard. And the 20, it's okay. You can give those 20. So, if you're going to give the 20, you made mitzvah tzedakah. Like we said, on the 100 we're not talking, so we're not even mentioning the 200. Not even as a joke. So we're not kidding on subjects like those. Rabbi Nachman of Breslev. So, on the 20, if you're going to give them, you are making mitzvah tzedakah. No one is arguing that it is mitzvah tzedakah. But it's not avodat tzedakah. Avodat tzedakah is when a person is giving tzedakah and he's doing avodat tzedakah, he's working on his midah to give tzedakah, he's breaking his kamtzanut, to be cheap, and he's canceling ta'avat mammon. By giving tzedakah, you're canceling ta'avat mammon. So that's not going to happen by giving the 20. It's going to start by giving the 50 or by giving the 100. Alright? Or daven that you're going to, Be'ezrat Hashem, give the 200. They're in a different pocket. What can you do? You cannot see them so often. So avodat tzedakah, that by that avodah you can break the ta'avat mammon, it's when it's hard. When it's hard. And the person will never going to be poor from the tzedakah. But I'm not saying to you that you won't have tests. I'm not saying that you won't have difficulties by giving tzedakah. You will, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is checking you if you really wanted to give tzedakah, or that it was just because you want to be called a tzaddik, or that you want to, people think that you are generous and I don't know what. Those things are, Baruch Hashem Baruch Olam is trying that you're going to realize that you have a problem. You're right, you gave tzedakah, but it wasn't l'shem shamayim. It wasn't avodat tzedakah. You were looking for honor. You asked them to remember you in their prayers when they're going to daven and this and that. All of those things we have to cancel. We need to clean ourselves. We're giving tzedakah because this is a mitzvah. Baruch Olam, He wants us to give mitzvah, to give tzedakah. We're giving tzedakah. We consider all of our money as money of Hashem Yitbarach. Like that we're saying in the verse, Ki miyadecha natanu lach. From your hand, we're giving it to you back. Hashem, a person is giving masrot, you're giving tzedakah. How much tzedakah you're going to give? Another 10% more than your masrot money, 20%, but it's 20% from the 100% that Hashem gave you. So actually, what you gave from what that you received. You received from Hashem Yitbarach 100, and now you gave 20, you gave 30. So it's wonderful, it's great, but Tachlis, you got it all from Hashem Yitbarach. So it all belongs to Hashem Yitbarach. It's not yours. So this is a certain attitude, a certain point of view that a person have to have when he is got money. That he feels that the money is not his. I have a friend that it was hard for him to give Masrot. He was talking to his wife. He told her that it's hard for him to give Masrot. She told him, I don't understand why it's hard for you. It's not your money. If it's not your money, it cannot be hard for you to think about it even. It's belong to the poor. But what I gave it in your hands, that you're going to hand it over, that you're going to have also a mitzvah. This is it. He just wanted you to have a mitzvah. Now it's a difficult thing for you. To what? To keep the mitzvah of Hashem? It's not your money. It's belong to them. They're walking with their pants torn and with the debts to the makolet, to the store, and I don't know what. It's not your money. You have to pay that bill. The bill, you got the money to pay that bill. And you have to pay that bill. So it's not a difficult thing at all if you just observe. So Borei Olam is making for us all of those up and downs, having money, don't have money, count on someone, not counting on no one, davening, being answered, not being answered. All of those that we're going to realize in the end that it's not our money at all. That we have to hate money. Not to hate the mitzvah that you can have with money, through money, with money. Just to hate what that goes on surrounding the mitzvah, the money. The Yetzer Hara that is attaching himself to the money. That you need to hate. Lisno et hamamon, to hate the money, betachlit hasin'ah, in the maximum that you can. Rav Berlan said that this is the line that brought him into Breslev. That you read that line, that you have to hate the money in the maximum that you can hate anything in the world. He said that thing brought me into Breslev. He said, I saw in a lot of places that it's written that you have to hate money, that you have to push yourself away from money, and mamash, that it's a bad midah, to have ta'avat mamon, but to hate money betachlit hasin'ah, in the maximum that you can hate it, means to reject it, not to like it at all, to push it away from you, like that you disgust from it. You have money, get rid of it. Find a way to get rid of it. Great, into the Kedusha, into Torah, into mitzvot, into pockets of Talmidei Chachamim, into the Shiva Kedusha, a place that we're in, that we're alive because of that place, that we have Shalom Bayit because of that place, that we have hope because of that place, that something is moving in our lives to support that factory, that mif'al, that building. Doing something like that, you're keeping the words of Hashem Yitbarach, the words of Rabbeinu HaKadosh, that the person going to hate the mammon betachlit hasin'ah. He hates to hold the money. We learned about the Baal Shem Tov that the Baal Shem Tov wasn't keeping money in his house when he was asleep. One time he couldn't fall asleep. He asked his wife, maybe she kept money. She said, yes, I kept money for Friday. It was Thursday night. For Friday, for tomorrow, that we're going to shop things, buy things for Shabbos. He told her, the one that's going to give us life, he's going to give us money. And he took the money and went and gave it to tzedakah, and only then he could go to sleep, back to sleep. He couldn't go to sleep. The Abir Yaakov, Abu Chatzera, he was giving in the night, he was handing to his wife, he had like a wallet, handkerchief, that he was keeping the money inside of that thing, and he was giving it to his wife that she's going to wash it at night, that he will not sleep in a house that there is smell of money in that house. A lot of tzaddikim are not putting money on their table, that they're eating on that table. Not putting money on the table, not counting money. How to count money for sure on the table, yes, right. Move everything, let's count. Now it's time to count money. It's all avodah zarah. You believe in money. This is golden calf. You believe in money. You believe that money's got power. How many rich people couldn't do nothing with their money to save themselves? There is a lot of very famous stories about that. A lot of rich people couldn't save themselves. Not with money, not with nothing. Wise people with their wisdoms, rich people with their money, doctors with their shitot. Nothing. Nothing. Only Hashem Yitbarach can help you. Only Hashem Yitbarach can support you. You want to succeed in something, you need to ask from Hashem Yitbarach for the success. Not to have money. You want to buy a house, you should daven that Hashem is going to buy you that house. You don't need to tell Hashem Yitbarach how much money you need. Hashem got His ways to give you the money, to give you the house, to give you the house, to help you, to support you. Hashem's got His ways to help you. He doesn't need advice. No, Hashem, if you give me this amount of money, I'm going to do this and that. Don't need to talk about money with Hashem Yitbarach. Ask for the merit for that thing that you wish to have. Please, Borei Olam, we need a house. We need to get into that house. We want that house to be written on our names. I don't remember, someone told me, I don't remember who it was, about Hash'ala, about loaning. Someone from the class talked to me about it. Someone told me that if you're asking from someone for a loan, for halva'ah, it's easier to ask from a person on a loan than to ask for a charity, for tzedakah. If you want to ask, it's easier. You can ask even bigger amount if you plan to pay back. It's not hard. So he's saying, I'm not davening that Hashem going to give me a house. I'm asking that Hashem going to loan me a house. For this world, that Hashem going to loan me that house that we need, me and my wife and kids, for 120. Please, it's a loan. I'm giving it back, Borei Olam. I'm not taking it with me. Don't worry. I'm paying back. That's cute. So, we need to find ways to please Hashem Yitbarach in our tefillot, in our Hitbodedut, to ask for things in a nice way, to please Hashem Yitbarach. And not to count on the physical world, not to count on money, on those things. So, by, like we said now, by having faith, by being loyal, by being straight in business, in Masar Matan, Or HaChaim Kanal. The light of life is coming like we learned. We know it's a wonderful thing that it's written. There is a story on Or HaChaim HaKadosh, that he was a tailor. He was working. He was a wonderful tailor. One day, the king of Morocco, of that area, I don't know what, came to ask him to make a wedding dress for his daughter that's soon gonna get married. He asked, so the Or HaChaim HaKadosh asked him when it's gonna be. He wanted him to make golden stitches on that dress. It was a wonderful dress for the princess. So the Or HaChaim HaKadosh asked him when the wedding gonna be. He told him in 2 weeks or so, something like that. So he said, I'm sorry, I cannot make it. What? You have 2 weeks? You're not gonna make it in 2 weeks? He said, no, I have an obligation to Hashem Yitbarach that I'm not working more than 2 hours every day. And in 2 hours every day for 2 weeks, I'm not going to make it. The king went crazy. To make the dress for my daughter, you're not going to work more than 2 hours? And you have explanations and things to say? And he commanded Siva to throw him into the cage of the lions, into the lions' cave. What? Den. Not a pen, den. You cannot say a pen on that also?
It was a pen.
You could say pen.
Yeah, big pen.
Why not?
So, when he was standing over there, they brought him, 2 guards brought him into that den, and the lions took those 2 guards, and the Or HaChaim went in, and he was sitting and reading Tehillim inside of that den, and the lions were sitting close to him and listening to him reading the Tehillim, and the guards ran to the king and told him, the king, look what's going on, the Or HaChaim HaKadosh, the lions are not touching him, they're listening to him, they're, how you said, meulafim, pet, it's his pet now. They're his pen now. Tamed. So the king took him out, asked him please to come out, like that, like with Avraham Avinu and Nimrod. He asked him to come out, and he came out and honored him. When they asked the Or HaChaim HaKadosh what was the thing that gave him that power that lions couldn't do nothing to him, so he said because he never even looked at his Brit Kodesh. He never was looking down at his Brit Kodesh, never touched Brit Kodesh. This is a very important story to tell the kids on the Or HaChaim HaKadosh, never to touch Brit Kodesh, never to look even, to see even the Brit Kodesh, not allowed. So he said that by that power he had that Kedusha. So you see, Rabbeinu HaKadosh is just mentioning those words, Or HaChaim, the light of life. Kana, like we said, V'zeh she'amru, and this is what they said, Mikra nidrash lefanav, וזה שאמרו שם, and מקרא נדרש לפניו, that we need to learn from those two parts of the two verses. One of them is to write the mezuzot in a perfect way, and the second one is that we're going to have a long life. So מקרא נדרש לפניו. We're learning from those two verses, from the one that is before we're learning. מקרא נדרש לפניו. היינו בחינת אור הפנים שהוא סימנה דחיה. Means the light of the face. This is the canceling the ta'avat mamon, like we said, that Hashem Yitbarach, when He is smiling to us, we have His 70 illuminating faces, panim, 70 faces of Hashem Yitbarach, and in front of that we have 70 faces that are in darkness, and we said that all of them are stuck inside of ta'avat mamon. Person that have desire for money is chas shalom in those 70 dark faces that he cannot recognize Hashem. He doesn't have faith. So when the person is writing those mezuzot, like we said, in the perfect way, in the right way, ba'or hachayim, he's canceling ta'avat mamon, he can find the light of the life, the face of Hashem Yitbarach, that this is the faith. ובשביל זה, and this is why, קביעות המזוזה, we're putting the mezuzah בשליש העליון של הפתח. We're putting it on the top,
upper third
of the door. Yeah. Great. כי אמרו חז"ל, because רבותינו said, לעולם, always, ישלש אדם את מעותיו. A person have to make 3/3 to divide his money to 3. שליש בפרקמטיה, 1/3 is in his business. I don't remember the next two. Someone remembers? What?
Real estate, right? And 1/3 is cash.
One to have cash, and the third one is
real estate.
real estate. All right, so, okay, I understand. One, all right, so you got it. וכולי. ושליש העליון, and the higher third, הוא השליש שבפרקמטיה. This is that third that it's in pragmatia. Pragmatia, what it means pragmatia? Pragmatia, it's a certain business that a person have. Also, just that we all gonna know, they said, the Chazal said, that the highest tzedakah of them all, more than to give money, mamash to give money, is to make a pragmatia letalmid chacham, to support a talmid chacham, to create a certain business, of course, a kosher business, that he gonna keep, that he gonna be, he gonna hold on because of that. He gonna give him support also for the future. Okay, so of course that a lot of people that are trying, parents that are trying to educate their kids to learn profession or something like that, have to realize it's a good intention, but it have to be in a kosher way. It have to be in a kosher way. So if you have a way to support your son or to support the Talmid Chacham, to put him into doing something for his parnasah that's gonna help him and really gonna support him, it's the best way. But if by finding that pragmatia business, you're gonna push him away from Kedusha, take him out from the yeshiva, for sure that there is no connection to that. So, even more than giving tzedakah, handing the money to a poor person, it's to try to support that person to have his parnasah. This is why Rav Shalom is supporting the Avrechim a lot to wake them up to do hafatzah. By doing the hafatzah, a lot of Avrechim are holding on and they're finding their parnasah by selling the books, and they have their parnasah. A lot of money of Arav is giving back into the hafatzah, and he's a lot of times Frida is saying, I have a donor, someone donated a lot of books to the Avrechim. Arav is bringing a lot of money back into that, and then the Avrechim, they take the books and they're going and making the hafatzah. In a lot of situations we saw when there was hard situations in the south and more examples that were. Rav hand those books for free to the Avrechim and tell them go and do the Hafatzah, and they're going, and it's creating for them a certain situation that they can find the Parnassah through that, and also doing the Hafatzah, all of the distribution of those wonderful books. So, כמאמר חז"ל, like that Rabotenu said, תבין 50 דעבדין ממתן דלא עבדין. It's better to have 50 that are working than 200 that are not working. So you see that pragmatia, and it's talking about Talmidei Chachamim. It's better to have 50 Talmidei Chachamim that are working. What it means working? It means that they are not lazy. It's not bums that are just waiting for they're all right, we're living out of donations. People that are waking up in the morning and they are mamash serving Hashem Yitbarach, and they're working and they're doing their efforts. They're not leaning on other people. They're not begging and asking for donations, and they're poor and they're avrechim. You brought yourself into that situation. We have to understand also in the situation that Am Yisrael are in now, that for sure it's not good, all of what that goes on, that people want the avrechim and the bachurim to go into the army and this and that, and we want people to learn Torah, but we're not allowed to forget Hashem Yitbarach in all of that story, and to blame the Chilonim and Yair Lapid and all of the Shtuyot. It's nonsense. Borolam is putting us in that situation. Borolam's got to complain on how that we're learning Torah. Borolam is not enjoying that limud. There is a problem with that limud. There is a problem with the way that people are learning. Rav Shalom said the reason that they want to take the Bachurei Yeshivot to the army is because that Bachurei Yeshivot pogmim babrit. They have pgam abrit. Because of that, Rav Shalom said this is the reason for all of that decree. They have pgam abrit. They're sinning. They're not learning like they should. They're using the ma'arechet, the shita chas shalom in a certain way. And the hashgacha pratit, Hashem Yitbarach is rebuking us. Of course, you don't want your son to go to the army. Of course, we can understand it. So do tshuva. Do tshuva. Ask for Hashem Yitbarach. Not in a politic way and to argue and to hate and to fight. It's only arguments inside of Am Yisrael. We need to take the responsibility to dive into Hashem Yitbarach, to do tshuva, to confess, to ask for forgiveness, to ask Hashem Yitbarach to open that path for us that we're going to be able to keep on learning Torah in Mesirut Nefesh and not to be stressed out of Parnassah situations and more. But not to forget Hashem Yitbarach Chas v'Shalom. Ve'ikar Emunah, and the main part of faith, tzarich liot b'masar umatan, have to be about money, have to be about subjects of money, because about business, because when the person has got a desire for something, he can twist the truth, mamash, in so many ways. He needs money now, everything is kosher. Everything becomes to be kosher. It's not kosher. We're not allowed to. And Rabbeinu is mentioning the main part of faith have to be in business. Because when you need money, you forget Hashem immediately. So this is why we have to have a very, very strong effort on believing in Hashem Yitbarach inside of our businesses. And not to forget Hashem Yitbarach when it's talking about money, when you have to achieve that amount of money. Even though that you're an avrech and all of the stories that you have. You're not allowed to, a person can come back in Gilgul to another lifetime on 10 agorot, on one coin. If the other person is not mochel on that amount, on that penny, you're going to come back. If he's not mochel to you on that, if he's not forgiving, he's saying, no, I don't care. I want that money back. Nothing going to stop them in heaven from pushing you down to this world to pay back that 10 agorot. He have to come back too. And why he needs to come back too? Because he's not mochel. This is why we need to be mochel. This is his punishment on the fact that he's not mochel, that he's going to come back also in another lifetime. And it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing. Rabbi Natan said that he will accept it to come to this world only with one term. If they're going to promise him that he's going to come to the Tziyun of Rabbeinu HaKadosh to say one time Tikkun HaKlali, he doesn't care. Even if he's going to born in a kibbutz, he's going to sin all of his life, he doesn't care. if he one time going to be in the Tzion of Rabbeinu HaKadosh, one time going to say Tikkun HaKlali, it's worthy. It's worthy for him. So a person have to know, and the Rav Shalom gave an advice on that also. If you don't know what to do with all of the people that you took money from them, and there is a lot of situations that you don't know how to pay back and what to do with it, it's mamash in your past and you don't know what to do. So Rav Shalom said, if the person gonna take a certain amount of money and gonna donate that money to Hafatza, to distribute the books and CDs that helps other people to do tshuva, a certain amount of money. He give that amount of money to the tzedakah, to the Hafatza. People are going to take those books, or you're going to take those books and hand them to other people. People are going to do tshuva because of those books that they read or CDs that they heard. That mitzvah, you dedicating to the merit, to be a privilege of those ones that you owe them money. In term that they're going to forgive you on the money that you took for them. If in heaven, in the world to come, they're going to forgive you on the amount of money that you took from them, that you stolen or that you took in mistake or I don't know what, they're going to be able to enjoy in the world to come from the merit of people that made tshuva because of that amount of money that you gave for charity, for tzedakah, for hafatza. And if they are not mochel on the amount of money, they will not be able to enjoy the merit of the hafatza, of that tshuva. And Rav Shalom said there is no one in the world to come that's going to see the light of the shefa, of the mitzvah, of helping other people to do tshuva, to get closer to Hashem Yitbarach. No one going to refuse to be mochel on the money that someone owes him, no matter which amount of money. So, of course, that if you took a lot of money, you have to do it more often to give that money for Hafatza. It's a solution. It's a wonderful solution. From Rabbeinu HaKadosh, we're finding solutions that were not exist in the world before. This is a solution that was not exist in the world before. It's written that we can do tzorkei rabim with the money, that we can give charity, can do tzedakah with the money. But to know that the light of the Hafatza, it's the biggest light of them all, that to bring people to do tshuva, it's a berur that something that it's mamash, it's a new, it's very clear now, it's very obvious that it is working. כמו שכתוב, like that it's written, נסעת ונתת באמונה, that the first question that the person being asked is if he was doing his business with faith. נמצא שעיקר הממון, that the main part of the money, ששם צריך אמונה, that over there you need to have the most faith, the maximum faith that you have, הוא בשליש עליון, it's in the highest third, שהוא בשליש שבפרקמטיה, that this is that third of business over there. We need to believe in Hashem Yitbarach as much as we can. Thank you very much. Be'ezrat Hashem.